day, my name is Taruna Naidu. I am a partner in our PwC Business School. And today I'm joined by two of my colleagues, Lusanda Koliwe, as well as Dane Ash, who are partners in our governance, risk, and internal audit practice, and who also co-lead our Chief Audit Executive Forum. So to kick us off, Dane, perhaps you can share with us just what the focus of the CAE Forum is.
Thank you, Taruna. Yeah, so the focus of CAE Forum is pretty much to create a forum where chief audit executives can come and attend these sessions, and we talk about aspects that are important to CAEs. So why is that important to network with others? If you look at the extent of challenges that CAEs face today, and pretty much what are they? For starters, there's much pressure for CAEs to demonstrate relevance, to demonstrate value add, and there's a cost associated with all internal audits. If you also gain an understanding of the extent of corporate failures that have taken place over a number of years, often the question has been asked, well, where were the internal auditors? Also, challenges with regards to integration with the external audits on a combined assurance basis, also demystifying the concepts of combined assurance, understanding what others are doing in the marketplace. But most of all is to ensure that internal audit plans are set up by CAEs in their organizations that talk to the major risks that are in fact understood to be in place, especially at boards. Boards are asking a lot of questions of chief audit executives at the moment. And again, if you understand the extent of coverage that we expect to see in internal audit plans at the moment, audit committees are wanting coverage that span across aspects such as strategy, growth and investment, safety, health, environmental, social license to operate, reputation and ethics, stakeholders, excuse me, of all sorts, and then issues that impact profitability, liquidity, and operational excellence, corporate governance itself, issues pertaining to regulatory compliance, and then people and reporting as a whole. So the CAE's got their work cut out for them, and it's important for them to stay abreast and ensure that they're able to, in fact, add the value that they should be adding to their organizations.
So some really insightful areas, Dane. Lusanda, we've run this forum for a couple of years now, and we want to just look back, help us to reflect on what some of the focus areas have been in the 2024 program.
Sure, Taruna. So in 2024, it was quite a big year for internal auditors. On the 9th of January this year, the Global Institute of Internal Auditors released new standards for all internal auditors all over the world. So that meant that in 2024, we spent most of our focus trying to demystify the standards. So in Q1, we literally spent that CAE forum just summarizing to say what exactly is new in these standards, right? Which would have been come out 2 months prior. And then in the second quarter, we took that discussion to be a little bit more focused on CAEs. And that particular part is to say, out of the standards, what are the 10 things that CAEs should focus on? If you're a CAE at this point in time, what should you do at this point in time? What is most important to you? But most importantly, the standards which came out on the 9th of January 2024 will only be effective on the 9th of January 2025. So we also use that session to say, if you are trying to get ready for the effectiveness date of 2025, what should you be doing as a CAE between June and December to make sure that you are ready? That came up with things like gap analysis, where CAEs are looking at the gaps of where they are and where the new standards are expecting them to be. And others were actually getting their external QARs done before December, because the thing that comes with new standards is that you need to get a quality assurance done, which lasts for 5 years. So other CAEs took the opportunity to do their quality assurance this year, while others took the opportunity to do a gap analysis and readiness assessment. Last but not least, we did spend the last quarter giving them an output of what the Global Institute of Internal Auditors did when they met in July in Washington. I was privileged to attend that particular session. So in the last CAE forum, I summarized to say, what are the other CAEs all over the world thinking about? You must take into account that in that particular session of the global event, there were about 117 countries there discussing matters that CAEs come across. But most importantly, the global event was also looking forward. And hence, one of the biggest things that came out of it was Vision 2035, where we're discussing what the future internal auditor looks like, and which also means the future CAE should be looking at.
Thank you, Lusanda. So it sounds like a lot of change in this space. Just help us to understand what the 2025 program is going to focus on.
So let me start off by, one of the biggest things that are really coming up, which came out of the standards, but also came out of the global meeting. The standards, for the very first time since, the start of the IIA standards, came up with a concept called topical requirements. What the topical requirements are all about are taking into account the fact that the role of an internal auditor, a CAE, has significantly changed over the years. And there's a lot of expectations from stakeholders, that is the business, the audit committee chairs, and other people who actually get work from internal auditors. What the topical requirements do cover are topics that CAEs or internal auditors all over the world get to deal with, but we were wanting a more standardized way of dealing with them. In September 2024 this year, the first topical requirement was released, and when we say it was released, it's for us to practice now, and it's on cybersecurity. And as you know, over the years, cybersecurity has come up to the top of the risk matters that all businesses deal with. So now this topical requirement is to give guidance to CAEs and other practitioners on how to deal with cybersecurity. We are expecting in 2025 a whole host of other topical requirements which will be released. And maybe just to give you an idea of how these topical requirements come about, it starts off as a research paper. So the next one would be third-party risk management. And that research paper is open to practitioners all over the world to comment, etc., etc. And then by the time it is released for use, we've taken into account all sorts of issues of risk matters that come from other countries that have not been initially thought about when the paper was released. And then by the time it's released, then it's for us to practice and also use as a guidance as practitioners. Also, business resilience will come up in 2025. I've already mentioned cybersecurity. So we are expecting that over the next year in 2025, many things will happen. One, the standards will be effective in January. Two, the quality assurance manual will be updated, which is the standard they use to measure every internal auditor all over the world. And three, we'll start seeing more and more of topical requirements being released as we go along to guide internal auditors all over the world.
Thank you, Lusanda and Dane. I mean, it does certainly sound like quite an extensive program, an opportunity to upskill, but also to connect with other CAEs. We do encourage all our CAEs to join us in the upcoming sessions, to subscribe, to make sure that you're getting access to the invitations. And a final reminder that, attending any of these sessions also gives you the opportunity to earn CPD credits towards your professional body. So we look forward to seeing you on an upcoming session. Thank you very much.